This is a massive and critical warning to all silver bulls and anybody that is long on silver right now. There is a headline that is circulating right this moment that sounds absolutely explosive. China just restricted deliveries. Shanghai inventories have collapsed. Physical silver is disappearing. And the implication that this narrative implies is actually glaringly obvious. Silver is about to explode higher, right? But before you make a decision based on that narrative, we need to slow down and break it apart carefully. Because once you understand what is actually happening inside of the Shanghai Futures Exchange, the story looks inherently different. The claim being pushed is that the Shanghai Futures Exchange has either restricted delivery allocation on certain silver contracts, or it has tightened rules in a way that implies physical silver is no longer available at size. Now, alongside that claim, people are pointing to inventory data. They're saying inventories have fallen from roughly 3,000 metric tons in 2021 to around 350 tons today. That is roughly an 85 to 90% decrease or drawdown. It sounds dramatic. And when you pair it with words like zero allocation or delivery restrictions, it creates a sense of urgency. Whether false or real, it feels like a supply crisis. But here's the critical question. What do those numbers actually mean? These contracts are primarily financial instruments. The majority of them are opened and closed before delivery ever happened. That is true in Shanghai. It is true in New York on COMEX. It is true almost everywhere that futures trade. Futures markets are mostly about hedging and speculation, not actual physical movement of metal. So let's talk about those inventories, because when you hear silver inventories dropped from 3,000 tons to 350 tons, that refers to exchange registered warehouse stocks. It does not mean that China only has 350 tons of silver left. It doesn't mean industrial users cannot source metal. It doesn't mean mines have stopped producing. Exchange inventory is just metal registered and available to fulfill delivery against futures contracts, okay? And just because Shanghai only has 350 tons doesn't mean that there's not enough silver in the market. Go look at the London exchange that has like 27,000 tons registered. And one thing that you might want to ask yourself, if all of this is so restricted and there is such a massive supply crunch on the Shanghai exchange in particular, then why on earth did Shanghai send 600 tons of this metal to London to help with its supply squeeze whenever that was happening just a month or so ago? And here's the part that most people leave out. Exchange inventories, they rise and they fall all the time based on price structure, arbitrage opportunities, import flows, and even warehouse incentives. If silver trades at a premium in another market, metals are going to move there. If futures spreads aren't paying enough to store metal in exchange warehouses, metals are going to get withdrawn. Inventory movement does not automatically equal shortage, and shortage does not automatically equal price pump. Now, let's address the zero delivery allocation narrative, because in futures markets, exchanges can adjust delivery rules, position limits, or hedging qualifications anytime that they want. And sometimes allocation rules are adjusted near expiration to prevent squeezes or excessive speculation. Now, that does not mean that the exchange has no silver. It means they are managing risk inside of a derivatives market. And let's be real, they just did this same stuff in COMEX. The only difference is that everyone was screaming manipulation by COMEX instead of supply crunch and price is gonna pump, right? That distinction actually matters, because the narrative being pushed implies something much more dramatic, that physical silver is vanishing and paper claims are about to fail. That's a massive leap. To evaluate that leap, we have to zoom way out. China is the world's largest industrial economy and one of the world's largest producers and consumers both of silver. It imports, exports, refines, and uses silver in electronics, solar panels, and even manufacturing. The physical market is much larger than what sits inside of the Shanghai exchange warehouses. If there were a true systematic physical shortage, you would see it in multiple places. You would see extreme physical premiums globally. You would see refiners unable to source. You would see delivery defaults. You would see gold and silver lease rates spiking uncontrollably. And you would see widening spreads between futures and spot. But right now, we are only seeing inventory movement inside of one exchange. That's not the same thing. But let's talk about the psychology of that, because markets move on narratives, and silver especially has a storied and long history of this is the squeeze, right? Every time exchange inventories fall, every time delivery rules are adjusted, it becomes fuel for this breakout thesis, and it almost never comes. Sometimes those breakouts happen. I get that, but often those narratives actually front-run reality. If something is widely known, widely discussed, and widely expected to cause a rally, it's often already priced in, or it just fails entirely. Silver doesn't just go up simply because inventory fell off on one exchange, right? Prices move when there is sustained imbalance between global supply and global demand, when monetary conditions shift, when real yields fall, when liquidity expands, or when industrial demand materially tightens availability. A headline alone, it's not enough. Now let's bring gold into this, because gold trades on Shanghai's exchange as well. If there were a systematic delivery crisis inside of China, you would likely see coordinated stress across both gold and silver contracts. Gold is larger, it's deeper, it's more liquid. It is the primary monetary metal. If silver were truly about to experience a physical breakdown, gold would almost certainly reflect stress in spreads, lease rates, or even delivery structure. That broader confirmation is critical. Without it, the silver narrative stands on a much thinner foundation. None of this means silver cannot go up. It absolutely can, and it has. But if it does rally, it's not going to be because of a misunderstood warehouse statistic. Go and read the report that the Shanghai exchange dropped. If silver rallies, it'll be because of macro forces. It'll be because of real demand pressure. It will be because of monetary conditions shifting. And if we don't separate narratives from structure, we risk trading headlines instead of reality. So here's the high school level summary. Exchange inventory is like inventory sitting in a store's back room. If that store moves boxes to another location, the shelves in that store look empty. That doesn't mean that the store ran out of product though, right? The story being pushed takes a technical adjustment and a warehouse drawdown and turns it into an imminent physical shortage thesis for a big, massive pump. That leap requires much more evidence than what is currently being presented in the silver market. So be careful when urgency is manufactured. Be careful when dramatic numbers are presented without context. Silver may have incredible upside, but if it does, it will be because of real structural forces, not because of a misinterpreted headline. And that distinction changes everything. Now, if you truly want to be prepared for this, click the first link in the description. I will send you to a video that will explain everything that you need to know that is moving in the background against you, and I promise you, you'll be glad you did.